I wanted to ask, and it may not necessarily be a answer you give now, and maybe something for the Sunday call. But kind of going to a previous question, I think that somebody asked. You know, you talk a lot about systems, obviously having non-negotiables and things like that. Do you have like a season where certain non-negotiables fit certain times, and then other times it's like, well, I can afford for these to be negotiables because I have other non-negotiables? And I guess the premise behind the question is, I think it was you before I even joined the Patreon that mentioned a guy like Childish Gambino, Donald Glover, that does like all these different things, but he does them in different seasons.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I guess, how do you balance, this is a non-negotiable, but just for this season, you know, I guess pick and choosing the seasons of what you're going to pursue or something like that. So
that's a great question. Yeah. So we talked about non-negotiables earlier, if those of you guys that missed it. And basically the idea was you create productivity by having certain non-negotiables that you make up in your brain before, and then your future self and your past self don't get to debate on if you do this or not, whether that's waking up and going early to the gym, working on music when you're tired, whatever, right? So you've already had the conversation. You've already said this is a non-negotiable. This is happening. We've already discussed this, so that we're not going to talk about if we're going to do this or not. That's the idea of non-negotiable. So to answer your question, I pay attention to where I feel like the hand of God is moving, or whether there's momentum in something. So I'm not in a hurry right now to put out a ton of music, even though I have a ton of music, right? I'm not in a hurry to do that. Why? Because my YouTube is growing at a rapid pace. So I'm going where I see the momentum and the wave that's catching on from a numbers standpoint, like an analytics standpoint, and from a revenue standpoint. And so I'm pressing into the YouTube, and it's growing rapidly, which is giving me the opportunity to go more at bat. So now I'm going live on YouTube every day. I'm putting out 4 or 5 videos a day. And so I'm going into something where I see the momentum happening versus saying, yeah, I see the momentum in YouTube, but like, I'm going to go drop my course right now, right? I'm going to drop a course at some point, but that's not where I'm at. That's not where the momentum is. So I pay attention to where the momentum is, and then I kind of I lean into that. Right, I lean into that. And so YouTube right now is where the momentum is. So I'm leaning into YouTube. And then my next thing that I'm going to lean into is creating this like monthly or bi-weekly music video drop along with a piece of merch. And I'm going to kind of release music with merch. And then after that, I'm going to go into getting some courses launched. I'm going to do a free course about how I do my live streaming. And then I'm going to do a paid course on how I do my merch and how to get pop in with merch and how to sell a product as an independent artist to make money. So, but I could do either. I could do all of those. But if I do all those right now, I won't be good at any of those because my attention will be too spread out. So in the same way, Donald Glover isn't going to be able to be a comedian, isn't going to be able to be a fire comedian, a fire artist, a fire singer, fire rapper, fire actor, fire director. You can't do all those at the same time. You only have so much creative capacity. Creative capacity is not the same as, oh, I'm just going to clean the house and check out, shut my brain off and check out. You could do that for 10 hours a day. You could do those remedial tasks where you just completely unplug and you're just going to wash the dishes, right? But you can't sit there and do, 3 hours of making really good beats, 3 hours of making really good intentional YouTube content, 3 hours of working on a course. I don't care how many hours in a day you have. Your capacity is going to be capped out at some point, right? Your creative capacity. So you have to pay attention to where is the momentum, where is the hand of God, where's the providence, where's the fruit in this season, and go into that. That's how I do it, right? And then I'm projecting for what am I doing next. So right now I'm looking at, okay, next we're going to go into more music videos and we're going to go into more merch. But right now we're really, really focused on YouTube. But that's going to be the next thing. And then the thing after that will probably be my course. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, man. So that's the only that's just what makes sense for me. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah. And it's interesting, you kind of say it like that because, like, I can look back at not, I guess, paying attention to my momentum. Like I did for a stretch of time, and kind of I think I watched the YouTube video of the guy who started Patreon, Jack Conte, talking about like we don't necessarily get to pick what pops. You know what I'm saying? You just put a whole bunch of stuff out. It's the funnel. You know what I'm saying? And eventually something does. And eventually that's when I kind of found, that kind of lane for a brief period of time on TikTok where I could just like, help somebody become a better basketball player in a minute. You know what I'm saying? And like all my followers kind of blew up from there. Well, I kind of got a little burnt out from that. And, I didn't necessarily have a pivot strategy that I just kind of dropped, and, trying to bring that back up, it's still kind of like, some people are like, glad you're back. But then it's like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not getting the same amount of engagement as it was because I wasn't following the momentum. I kind of let the momentum die and now trying to build it back up. It takes almost even more energy than the first time. Not almost, but I think just.
But think about but think about the skill that you acquired from that. Think about the skill that you acquired. You acquired the skill on how to create micro content at scale. Very difficult to do. I'm struggling with that. Like most people don't know how to communicate in short form, right? Most people are trash at it. So you did the basketball thing and you added value. You can figure out how to take that skill. That skill, you don't lose that skill. You got that skill, right? It's like riding a bike. So now you just got to figure out what else do you want to apply that skill to.
Sure.
Now, again, going back to it, Instagram Reels just launched. It's a huge opportunity for a lot of creators right now to say, I've refined this on my TikTok, and it's much easier to get new followers on TikTok, right? But now you can actually you can use that skill to make fire content for Instagram and grow faster. And the thing about Instagram is now those people are plugging into your funnel. So we go back to the top of funnel, middle funnel, bottom funnel marketing. Yeah. Those people are now with you, and they may be harder to acquire, but they're more valuable customers or potential customers, right? So TikTok, yes, you can grow to hundreds of thousands of followers, and that's dope, and that's a great front door. But now on Instagram, Facebook, that funnel is that's powerful. You know what I'm saying? That is powerful. So you can use that skill and go all in on Reels and figure out a way how to add value to people in a different way, but instead use Instagram Reels and potentially build an even bigger audience. Again, my buddy Alex Dion Wilson, I think he just doubled his Instagram following in the last month or so. Why? Because he crushed it on TikTok, and then the moment Instagram rolled out Reels, he already had a bunch of 15-second videos that were fire. And then he's all over the Explorer page. Every single day he's on that Explorer page, right? So that's just something to think about. If you can communicate in short form, man, that's a very powerful skill for the era and the climate that we're in. If you guys want to show extra love, what you could do is go over and cop some merch, man. Politically agnostic shirts, Yeshua's Dream shirts. Pick one up. They're like $22. This is the shirt I'm wearing right now. It's John Keith modeling it. The handsome fella he is. That really does help. Like, it helps us a ton. So if you want to support and partner with us in that way, you can go do that. Make sure you subscribe, turn the notification bell on. And yeah, man, stay locked in. Sunday night Zoom call coming up. We have some really cool questions on this chat. Appreciate everybody being here, hanging out.